This next bike, I think this might be the bike that's the best value mountain bike out on the market right now. And it's not even close. All right, we still got the rental van right now. I'm loving this thing. I'm actually considering buying one if I decide to get a new vehicle. This is like the best bike vehicle ever that I've ever had an experience with. And if I get a new vehicle, I think I might actually look into a minivan now. I never thought I'd be saying those words. But today we taking the Trek Roscoe in. We're gonna get some 50 millimeter bars put on here. I heard that's a good, comfortable riding position, and it helps with the chatter on a hardtail, especially on a rigid mountain bike. I'm gonna put another pair on my Breezer Thunder, which is my rigid mountain bike, to try to get a little bit more comfort out of those bars as well. So I'm taking it in because I need to get them cut down. I wanna do 760, and I don't have anything to cut these bars with, so I'm gonna have the guys up at Trek do it and swap these bars out and see how it goes. But while we are there was one bike that I thought was the best value mountain bike as far as hardtails, and I just found another bike that I think might have topped it. So unless things change, I think this second bike I'm gonna tell you about might be your best bet if you're looking to get a high quality bike at a cheap price. I've been talking about if I could choose one bike in my fleet, it would be the Breezer Radar X Pro, and that still stands true. But as a lot of you know, I love my Trek Roscoe 9. And with that being said, if I could choose one mountain bike, it would be the Trek Roscoe 9. But because I like riding all different kinds of things and different styles of riding, I would choose the Breezer Radar X Pro because of that reason. Now, this is a bike that's worth the money. This Trek Roscoe 8, this is on sale right now for $15.99, and I don't know if there's anything out there that you get the value you get with this for that kind of money. You really got everything you could possibly need. You got 4-piston brakes, you got a 140 mil fork with the RockShox 35 on here. You got a GX derailleur. I think it's an NX chain and NX cassette with NX shifters. I mean, this is a super solid bike. It's slack enough to do some hardcore riding. So if I had to choose a bike, if I was just starting out and I could risk spending a little bit more money, I would probably go with this. But if I was on a really tight budget, but I still wanted all the modern capabilities of a mountain bike that I can upgrade over time without any limitations, this next bike, I think this might be the bike that's the best value mountain bike out on the market right now. And it's not even close. Now, one of my favorite parts about this bike, which is hard to get at this price point, and this is the sale price, so you better take advantage of it while it's here. But listen, I love that nice crisp hub sound. As many of you know, back in 2020, I started mountain biking, and I started on Trek bikes, specifically the Trek Marlin 6. And looking back on what I got on that bike versus what I paid, compared to what you could get on this new bike, is pretty insane. Looking back, it's pretty funny knowing I was having so much fun not having a clue about what standards you needed on a mountain bike to upgrade it in the future. And thanks to a lot of you watching my videos and commenting, I was able to learn way more. And even though I hardly still know anything, I know way more than I did back then because of all of you that gave me valuable information in the comments. I think I ended up paying about $600 for this bike, and that was before the inflated prices. And for $600, I got a 2x drivetrain, 120 millimeter lower than average fork to say the least, no dropper posts, wheels and tires were not tubeless ready, and no tapered head tube. Now, I'm not trying to bash this bike at all because I loved it. I'm just trying to paint a better picture of how great of a deal this other mountain bike is right now. The bike I'm talking about is the GT Zaskar LT Elite. This is a bike that I happened to notice while I was in one of my local bike shops one day, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing for the price. Granted, this bike is on sale right now, down from $1,700, but you can't complain about this deal. I was thinking to myself, there has to be a downside to this bike for them to lower it to this much of a discount, and I honestly couldn't find anything that would make me think this bike is not as good as advertised, especially with the discount down to $700. I have a couple of recent videos talking about this bike, but I don't see anyone talking about these bikes, and I can't believe it because this is a steal of a deal. I had someone comment on one of the previous videos about this bike, and they said the fact that they can drop the price this low shows how overpriced the bikes are. Tell me down below what you think of that comment because it really had me thinking. For $799, let's talk about some of the amazing things you get on this bike. You get nice Tektro Gemini SL hydraulic disc brakes, a RockShox 35 fork, 130 millimeters of travel. You get WTB wheels and tires. Now the wheels are tubeless ready, but the tires are not. This is where it starts to get crazy. You get a 1x12 name brand SRAM drivetrain. You get a tapered head tube with boost spacing in the front so you can upgrade the fork really easy. You get front and rear through axles on this bike, and to top it all off, for $799, you also get a dropper post. Now y'all know I love my Trek Roscoes, but even with the Trek Roscoe 8 being at a great deal that it is, I think this might be most people's best option, because what you get for $799, it's gonna be pretty hard to find that. And I'm surprised this price is where it is now, but I really like what GT is doing right now. Whether they have to drop the prices or not, they did it, which is great for us, and I can't complain because more of us can get on a nice quality bike without breaking the bank.